Greetings, my fellow eagles and the entire world. This is Eagle Emmanuel Benson with inspiration and guidance from Eagle Helen Benson in the non physical world, coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. Today is the 16th of May in the year 2024, and it is a beautiful day. And as the Bible gives, let us rejoice and be glad in it. Today, as usual, I'm going to speak to you on the topic the end product of thinking is feeling. I repeat, the end product of thinking is feeling. There are a lot of people, or if I may say, almost every man or woman walking on earth doesn't normally link their thinking to their feelings. As a matter of fact, these are not topics or things that we normally discuss. We don't talk about that. We don't think about that. But these are the very key thing that defines our life, good or bad. And so today, as I've been doing, the focus is exposing you to the power of your emotions and how does the emotion comes. I've explained it severally in my previous episode. Today I'm going to look at this from a different angle, and that is linking feeling and thinking. Everyone thinks, we all have minds and we think. But the fact is, when you think, what comes? Your thinking or whatever thing that comes about as a result of your thinking is thoughts. And then the thought becomes a feeling. The end or the effect of your thoughts is a feeling. And that feeling, you feel it in your body. And so, whatever you are thinking, the end of your thinking is feeling. Your thoughts are translated into feelings. And that's why we say we are vibrational beings. And so, let's say, if you are feeling tired, I'm not talking of tiredness as a result of going through physical activity, but you've woken up in the morning. Some people habitually, they are tired all the time. Such kind of tiredness is as a result of the thoughts you are thinking, and the thoughts translate into that tiredness because that's the emotions you are generating. If you are happy, that one too is the effect of your thought. That means you are entertaining positive thoughts and you are in tune with yourself, and therefore you are happy. And so, whatever thing that we will think about in this world, in your life, in the life of every one of us, all of us put together as a group of people called humanity, the end of our thinking is we feeling the thinking, the effects of the thought in our body. And so, as you think, so you will become. As you think, whatever thing that you are thinking about is that you are going to demonstrate in your outer experiences or in your body. And so these two things are the things that we need to preoccupy ourselves with trying to understand and apply in our lives. Whatever the situation may be, whatever you may be handling, know that outer things are not the effect or the cause of whatever thing that you will fear. And the things you see, they are not the cause of how you are feeling, but it is the thoughts that you are entertaining. And since your thoughts and the thoughts of your inner being or God are not in alignment, the effect of this kind of misalignment brings about the emotions. And so you are not just thinking into the air. Some people think that whatever they take and then dwell upon, it just disappears. And then it has nothing to do with them anymore. But that is not the truth. Whatever thought that you are taking and you are putting more energy into it, you are thinking about it persistently, generates emotions because the end of your thought is emotions or your feelings. And the feelings is only to tell you that you are either in alignment with your true self or you are not in alignment with your true self. And as I use the laziness, or I say in the word we call the lethargy, you see, if you are feeling lazy, you lack the feeling of enthusiasm. You see, you don't have the energy. Some people, yeah, it's like you don't have the energy to do anything by habit. That is an example of a person that is disconnected or that is not in tune with his true self. Any person that is connected with his true self is always vibrant, is always happy, is always demonstrating the emotions of enthusiasm. And any person that lacks energy, any person that lacks anything that will actually any other people will feel that the person is present in a meeting or anything, it means that person is not in tune with his true self. That means the thoughts the person is entertaining are at variance with the thoughts of the person's inner being. And it all has to do with how we have been brought up and how we've been trained. We are born into a system, and therefore we automatically take this. And as I explained in my previous episode, we download these things from the society, from our parents, and then it becomes permanent in our system. And so you need to be very careful and attentive to the feelings that you are receiving about anything that you are thinking about. And as I have always mentioned or stated severally, and I will keep on reminding you that whatever feeling that you are receiving about anything that you are thinking about, it's not about the object or the person or the situation you are thinking about, but it is about the differences, the emotions is about the differences between your thinking and the thinking of your inner being or God. And so when you are having this kind of negative emotions, like laziness, anger, and all kind of negative emotions, know that you are receiving a message from your own system that there is a disconnect between you and you in the physical and you in the non-physical. And therefore, the only credible, the only wise decision you need to do or you need to take is to work yourself back in alignment with yourself. And that is look for anything. Think about thoughts, entertain thoughts that will bring you happiness and joy. You can imagine, you can visualize, you can use all these techniques to bring yourself back in alignment. And so your feeling, as I've always been saying on this program, your feelings matters. It matters more than anything. Whatever thing that you are doing, it comes back to you that you are doing it because you feel it. If you feel enthusiastic, if you feel energized to do something, then that you will get up and do it. If you feel lazy to do things, you will not get up and do it. If you are eating, you feel the food to see that the food is tasty or otherwise. If you are sleeping or whatever you are doing, the end of it is that you must feel it in your system as to whether it is good or bad. And so everything that we are doing in our life is interpreted by our system as a feeling. And it is this feeling that the universe responds to. And so you may be poor and you are praying for money. The fact is that you need to check how you feel about money. It is not about the ways that you offer as prayers, but it is your feelings about money. How do you feel about people who are rich? How do you even feel about money itself when you are releasing money, when you are buying things? So the feelings that you emit as a result of your thinking is that matters. And if you are feeling bad in spending your money, it means you have what we call poverty consciousness. And in God, there is no poverty consciousness. There is no poverty. And therefore, you are pinching yourself from God. And therefore, whatever abundance, the abundance in God doesn't flow through you. In the same way, if you are feeling negatively about anyone that is rich, that means you are against the flow of wealth. You cannot speak against something and at the same time receive it. And therefore you are blocking your abundance. And therefore you need to check how you feel about anything. Everything that you are desiring, you need to check your feeling. If your feelings towards that thing is negative, that means your thinking is not in alignment with the principle of that thing, of that your desire. And you need to check that and make sure that you become one with that. To become one with that particular thing is to have a good feeling with it. And that is when you say you are united with that principle that governs that particular thing. And so feeling is an essential thing that you need to take care of. Your emotions matters. And the emotions are simply the disconnect or the agreement between your inner self and your outer self or your physical self. Once these two thoughts becomes one, the positive thing will come out in you. But when they are not one, then you have the negative emotions coming out of you. And so, this is the time that you need to wake up. You've been offered this knowledge and understanding freely. Make good use of it. Take it and make good use of it. Don't just walk as a human being who has and think that you have no control over your life circumstances. You have absolute control over your life circumstances. And you, as a matter of fact, you are the creator of all the things that you are dreading, all the things that you think are painful, because you are thinking against the thinking of God, but you are praying to God. So when you pray, you don't get anything. But for your prayers to come back to you positively, then you have to think in the direction of the thinking of God. And that is to think in the positive. So positivity is a very important thing in our lives. Positivity, and any positive person will never feel lazy. Any positive person will never lack enthusiasm. Any positive person will never experience negative emotions. It may come at a point, but as soon as you are awakened to this fact, you catch yourself. We are all walking around, or we are surrounded by contrast. And therefore, no matter what, at any point in time, negative circumstances and situations will appear. But you only have to be wise and catch yourself and then look at it from the highest point of view. Don't deny the situation, but qualify it, define it in the terms or in the language of God. That is why I've always been saying that look at the situation, view the situation through the eyes of God, and also think about the situation through the mind of God. And when your mind and the mind of God are united, the situation will subside. Everything will disappear into a beautiful and a wonderful experience. And so, feelings matters. Your emotions matters more than anything in life. And how does your emotion comes about? Your emotions are simply the differences in your thinking and the thinking of the spirit that you came from, or God, energy, or whatever you want to call it. And therefore, you are feeling the pain. You are feeling the pain of the disconnect. To bring yourself back to that place where you feel good, train yourself to think only in positivity. In positive. Be positive-minded person. There is nothing important in your life than to be positive-minded, because your thoughts that you are generating will become your feelings, and it is your feelings that the universe takes and brings back to you your request that you are putting outside. And as I said the other time, the universe does not respond to your words, but your feelings. And the reason why there is nothing like yes or no in the language or in the calculation of the universe. The answer to every request is yes. Therefore, when you are denying something, you are feeling bad about something, you are denying it to the universe, you are inviting more of it. If you are condemning someone, condemning something to the universe, you are inviting such situation in your life for you also to be condemned, or for you to have more people to condemn. That is how it is. So you see that people who are becoming habitual, and they are not really aware that it is because of their thinking. And since they are thinking in that frame of mind or in that way, the law of attraction brings more situations and circumstances for them to demonstrate who they are. So your feelings about anything matters. But today, the end or the summary of my message to you today is that your thinking is the beginning. And when you think, the byproduct is a thought, but that is not the end of it. Then your thought is translated in your body as feelings. How it is translated in your body is that the disagreement between you and you in the spirit and you in the physical, brings about a pain. At the same time, when you think about positive things, the thoughts that you generate are positive thoughts. And the positive thought is translated into you as positivity. You have love, you have happiness, you have joy, you feel enthusiastic, you have the energy. That is what we say, you have the energy. But people who think in negative, they lack energy. They lack energy to do anything. That is the fact. And so everything that you are doing in your life is feeling. If you don't feel about anything, you will not be able to do it, or you will not be able to explain or experience it. And therefore, whatever thing that you are doing comes to the one central point or one central truth, and that is, it will come through your body as a feeling. And the way you feel is an indication that you are requesting either negative or positive thing from the universe. For the universe responds to you by the way you feel, but not how eloquent that you can bombard or you can present, pray or do whatever thing that you think. And so let us be wise. And that is my message for you. Take control of your thinking. Be mindful of your thoughts. Don't be afraid of your thoughts, but be careful, be selective, and be deliberate in your thinking. Be deliberate to be positive. And as you are deliberate in thinking in the positive, the results will come to you in a million and billion folds. That is my message for you. Thank you. And now I say, may the overshadowing presence of God that keep the stars in the open such that they do not fall on us, and keeps the planets in their orbit such that they do not clash with one another, keep you and lead you and guide you. Continue to open your mind and your eyes such that you be awakened to this truth, that you take control of your life by continually and every minute and moment responding and paying attention to your feelings and responding to the feelings accordingly, such that you remain only in the positive to create a joyful and a beautiful life experience with God. And that is beautiful. That is deliberate co-creation. Thank you, and God bless you once more.